One Piece is long, like super long, but there are always a ton of moments that stand out as fan favorites. Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon, Zoro saying nothing happened, Luffy giving his hat to Nami, Marineford, and so on. But because it's so long, there are always a ton of little moments that are underappreciated and, in my opinion, underrated as well. So today we are going to be covering my personal top 5 favorite underrated Luffy moments. If you guys enjoy and want to see me talk about other One Piece characters, let me know in the comments below, as well as what your favorite underrated moments are. By the way, #BriggsQ, which rumor has it is YouTube's favorite Q&A series, will happen at the end of this video. But without any more delay, Luffy saying goodbye to Kobe. Just an FYI, I will be saving my favorite underrated moments for last. Starting off the list, we are looking all the way back to the beginning of the story. Luffy had just saved Kobe from Alvida's crew and totally inspired Kobe to join the Marines, which was pretty convenient for him because the first place they land is a Marine base. Luffy tries to save Zoro from the Marines, however to do so, he basically needs to overthrow the entire Marine system that this base has in place. Which of course he does pretty effortlessly. Afterwards, they're enjoying a nice meal, it comes time for the crew to head out and a group of Marines barge in on them. They thank Luffy for helping them out, but let him know that even though he saved the town, pirates still aren't welcome. Then they look at Kobe and ask if he is with them. He completely shuts down. He is great friends with Luffy, but he also wants to follow his dream of being in the Marines. So Luffy sees the inner struggle, winds up, and punches Kobe across his face to give the Marines the idea that Kobe isn't a pirate. This one moment basically opened up Kobe's dream to be possible, and lead him on the path from being an annoying brat to being one of the most interesting and heroic Marines in the series. Could this have been settled in an easier way? Yes, but this way was so much more Luffy. Next up, Luffy is Thunderproof. In at number 4, we are going from heartfelt to hilarious. The Straw Hats are in the middle of their battle against Anime Eminem. Everyone on the crew has been pushed to their very limits as they fight this self-proclaimed god, and let's face it, a god with what is probably one of the strongest devil fruits we have seen so far. It comes down to a one-on-one fight between Enel and Luffy, with Nami being held prisoner. Now, we've seen Enel basically nuke places out of existence, so the fight starts out and it is tense. We've never seen Luffy fight someone so strong. The fight starts and Enel blasts Luffy with a burst of lightning, and well, Luffy is made of rubber, so there is no effect. We have this huge tense build-up that just falls apart and falls flat, and I laugh every single time. It reminds me of Saitama and his iconic okay. But anyway, let's move on to Luffy punching Bellamy. Okay, so you guys remember the scene all the way back at the start where the bandits poured alcohol on Shanks and knock him off his stool, and Shanks just brushes it off. Well, when Bellamy started throwing Luffy around in Mocktown, throwing booze on him, mocked him, it comes to a fight where Luffy isn't fighting back because there is no reason to fight and he doesn't want to entertain the needless battle. Then later on, Bellamy starts springing around the town so quickly that the citizens say that they can't even see him as he readies for an attack, and while he is bouncing, he starts talking trash about Luffy's friends and their dreams. And that's when Luffy takes his stand. After all, as Shanks said, you can spill drinks on me, I'll just laugh about it. But if you dare hurt my friends, I won't forgive you. So Bellamy charges in for his attack, and keep in mind here that Bellamy is a big deal in Mocktown. And as he gets close to Luffy, he asks why he is so pathetic and can't even throw a punch. Then Luffy just launches one punch and completely devastates him. I think it's one of the only fights in the series where a semi-important character picked a fight and was taken down in one shot. And Luffy's fist is not only covered in blood, but also imprinted on Bellamy's skull. That, and how it plays off the scene with Shanks, and how it shows Luffy has grown in so many ways, is why it's always been one of my favorites. But anyway, next I want to talk about Luffy versus Alkey G. Next up, we are moving on from a major rookie to a goddamn admiral. Alkey G is sent to find Robin after the government finds out about her, and the dude is on another level. Made of ice and able to rebuild himself from just about nothing, he starts the fight by making a sword out of ice and grass, and with next to no effort, he takes out Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy in a single move. This is the freaking monster trio. He freezes their limbs solid, then he freezes Robin solid while the rest of the crew is so scared that they can't even get up. Luffy sees this and knows his odds of winning after seeing how badly they all got shut down, and he orders the crew back to the ship to save Robin, while he takes on the Admiral himself. He challenges Alkey G to a one-on-one fight, and even manages to launch Alkey G into the sky, but he too is frozen solid. However, after the fight, Alkey G says that Luffy tricked him, and that if he was to go after the rest of the crew after agreeing to a one-on-one, then he would actually end up being the bad guy. Impressed by the Straw Hat captain having defeated Crocodile, Alkey G walks away and leaves the pirate crew alive. Now Luffy is a smart fighter. Even if he knew he couldn't win a fight, he is able to tell the power difference. But even in spite of that, he charges the Admiral for a sliver of a chance that his crew would survive. I always loved this fight because not only did it show off how great of a captain Luffy is, but it also showed off how big and terrifying the world of One Piece is, and that the Straw Hats still had a very long way to go to achieve their dreams. It also really got me interested in Alkey G, and even currently in the manga, I would love to see more of him and what he's up to. Finally, we have our number 1, Drum Mountain. And when it comes to One Piece moments, this is easily in my personal top 10 favorites, but I never see anyone talking about it. This is one of my favorite moments in the series. The Straw Hats get to Drum Island after leaving Little Garden and Nami is deathly sick. Luffy finds out that the only doctor on the island lives on top of the Drum Rockies and rarely comes down. Luffy, without a moment's notice, says that he will simply have to carry her all the way to the top, even through blizzards and the killer Loppins. Every other member of the crew is fighting him on the idea, but Nami looks up from her bed, barely able to talk, and says, "Take care of me, Captain," which shows how much faith Nami has in him. So Luffy and Sanji work their way up the mountain together, but an avalanche knocks Sanji unconscious, meaning Luffy has to carry him too. He eventually comes to the base of the Drum Rockies, and you see this completely vertical mountain that is, and I cannot stress this enough, 5,000 meters tall. For reference, the tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa. I don't know if I butchered the pronunciation, but it stands at 829 meters tall. This mountain is like 6 times as tall, and Luffy has to climb it in the middle of a blizzard, carrying Nami on his back, and Sanji by his shirt in his teeth, and naturally, his coat is immediately blown off by the high winds. You see this man climb one hand at a time, frostbitten, if that's even a word, and red, as the nails on his fingers and toes burst open with blood, and at one point, as the rocks give way and he slides down, digging his bleeding fingers and toes into the stone to stop the fall. Now we have seen Luffy in over 900 episodes and nearly 1,000 chapters of this series, and let me tell you, I have never seen him in more pain or closer to death. This includes with Magellan's poison, after fighting Kaido, or after getting beaten down by Katakuri. There is no scene in the series that shows Luffy's dedication or love for his crew more than this, in my opinion. And this is exactly why any member of the Straw Hats would give their lives for him, because he has shown that he will put his own life on the line for them time and time again. And that, my friends, is the end of this video. And I know what you're thinking, there are so many more badass moments in One Piece. So if you want more One Piece content, be sure to subscribe for more and smash the fuck out of that like button. But anyway, let's jump into the Briggs Q, YouTube's favorite Q&A series, if you didn't already know. What up, Shad lads? Welcome to #BriggsQ. I'm going to be answering your questions from the previous video, and if you want your questions to be answered in my next video, leave a question down below with the #BriggsQ. Let's jump into it. We got Anthopia. Do you or would you cosplay as a character, and if so, who? PS high five from England. High five, buddy. YouTube also has this cool new feature where I could see that you have been subscribed for 2 years. So thank you so much for all the support. And yes, I have cosplayed before, and I cosplayed as Luffy at one point. I cosplayed as Goku at one point. I feel like I really don't plan on cosplaying much going forward, but I did make a deal at like 500,000 subscribers. Whenever we get there, I will cosplay as Todoroki. It's just like an ongoing gag because I really don't like Todoroki. The next question by Nicholas D. Wolfwood. What moment in One Piece are you most excited for Animac to read? So if you don't already know, me, Animac, and Nuxtaku are doing the One Piece Virgin podcast, Animac being the virgin in this case, having never read One Piece before, and me and Nuxtaku obviously being big fans of One Piece. I am very excited for him to read Baratie because that's one of my personal favorite arcs, and I think it's an underappreciated arc for sure. Obviously, Arlong Park and him seeing the moment where Luffy puts the straw hat on Nami and the walk to Arlong Park. I'm very excited for that. And those are events that are going to happen really soon for him, so I'm super excited. But of course, I'm also very excited for iconic moments later in the manga, like Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon or Zoro saying nothing happened. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, just in general, I'm just so excited to be rereading through One Piece again and seeing someone's first impressions. I'm honestly jealous that he gets to enjoy this amazing series for the first time, and I'm happy that I get to join him on the awesome adventure that is One Piece. But anyway, the next question is by Tamichi. If you could make one character disappear, who would you choose? And you can't choose Todoroki. Todoroki's dad, because without Todoroki's dad, Todoroki wouldn't exist. Loophole. Get wrecked. Any other characters? Not really. I could say Suzaku from Code Geass, but I feel like even though I didn't like him as a character, he's still super vital to the story and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, final question. We got from Cody Osgood. Great video, Briggs. I completely agree with the wait and see approach. You never know how good or bad it is until it comes out. And this is in regards to the One Piece live action. Check out my previous video, link down below, as well as the One Piece podcast, link down below. P.S. Hashtag BriggsQ. Would you rather stop playing hockey or be able to learn hockey? Wow, that's a cool question. I would say I would rather learn hockey, because if you know hockey or have the ability to learn hockey, you'd probably be a top tier athlete in literally any sport you do. Imagine boxing or literally anything, and you have hockey, the ability to see attacks in advance, harden your own skin so you don't take damage, and imagine you have Conqueror's hockey. Fucking world domination, baby! Alright, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I want to give a gigantic thank you to my patrons. Let me pull that up here. A big thank you to my $1 patrons, The Anime Dude, Beck, Naze Mazer, Sebastian, I Cry During Sex, RTL Faith, Igloo 4, Todoroki is a better character than Luffy, and that is just absolutely false. I don't even want your dollar. No, I'm kidding. I'll take your dollar, but thank you so much, man. Brandon W, Too Spooky. A big thank you to my $2 patrons, Siren and Raphael. A big thank you to my $5 patrons, Mick Manga, Nothing But a Fan, King Osloth, Maggie, Joel Godinez, Michelle Moria, and a thank you to my $10 patrons. At this point, you also get the ability to join in on my party games live on Twitch at least once a month, but it seems like I've been doing it once a week at this point. Thank you to Chuya Nakahara, John Bruno, Cricket XP, Alpha Dio, Jay Kasumi, Shelly, Kalista, Kaiser, Terra Shift, Gamer, Ginkgo Taku, and a big thank you to my $25 tier, you absolute mad lads, Steelers, Rusty Lee, Tyson Queerno, and some guy 9393. Thank you so much, guys. And just like that, I will see you guys all next time, dudes. Shinpaku.